Let's just jump right in, shall we? We are heading way, way back today, back to a time when the Earth was still incredibly young and the heavens felt so close they practically brushed against the tops of the great ziggurats in Mesopotamia. We're going to unpack one of the oldest, most psychologically intense stories in human history, one that predates both the Bible and the Greeks. We are looking at the legend of Queen Ishtar and really analyzing her character, because her relentless, consuming longing for love didn't just create an epic myth, it created a terrifying reflection of human nature itself. I want you to seriously think about this for a second. What actually happens to a world if the very source of affection, desire, and life simply vanishes? Poof, gone overnight. And we aren't just talking about a bad breakup here, right? We're talking about the literal evaporation of the entire concept of love and fertility from the planet. Well, as you'll see in this explainer, the ancient Mesopotamians had a deeply terrifying answer to that question, and it all centers around the deep flaws of one incredibly powerful deity.
Section 1. Ishtar's Greatness and Endless Pride, the Dual Goddess of Mesopotamia. Okay, before we can really grasp her spectacular fall, we absolutely have to understand her heights. In the ancient world, Ishtar was it. She was the queen of heaven. Bustling golden megacities like Uruk and Babylon rested right at her feet. But she had this intense, totally dual nature. On one hand, you've got the hand of love. She's literally granting fertility, breathing life into nature, the animals, and us, humanity. But then there's the hand of war. With that hand, she's leading armies and just mercilessly toppling the crowns of any king who disobeys her. She held the spark of creation and the absolute violence of destruction.
But here is where we really start to peel back the layers of Ishtar's psyche. Despite all this infinite glory, despite having humans cheer her name and the heavens bowing down, she had a flaw. It was this deep, mysterious hunger. It wasn't just arrogance. It was this unquenchable longing to be loved and worshipped by literally every single corner of existence. And that yearning whispered to her that conquering half the universe? Yeah, that just wasn't going to cut it. The offerings of her lovers couldn't fill the void. So she turns her eyes downward, down toward Kur, the underworld, the realm of shadow, ruled by her bitter older sister Ereshkigal. Ishtar decided she wanted it all.
Section 2. The Descent into the Underworld, Stripping the Immortal.
Blinded by this desperate hunger for total devotion, Ishtar completely missed a crucial truth. Demanding absolute control is exactly how even immortals fall. So she marches right down to the realm of the dead, fully decked out in her most luxurious royal garments, wearing 7 magical amulets to protect her power. She gets to the first gate and just arrogantly screams at the guardian of death, Niti, to open up. But Niti? He just stares at her with these completely dead eyes, and in this voice like low thunder, he gives her a chilling reality check. Enter Ishtar, but by the laws of the dark world. Here, you own nothing.
You see, the underworld doesn't care who you are. It operates on strict, unbending laws. So at Gate 1, the Guardian violently rips the crown of heaven right off her head. When she protests, he basically says, too bad, laws of death. By the 3rd gate, they strip away her stunning lapis lazuli necklace. Down at the 5th gate, she loses her jewels of victory. And finally, as she walks through the 7th gate, the very last of her garments are taken. Ishtar arrives in front of the black throne of the underworld, totally naked, completely stripped of her magic, her power, and her holiness.
Section 3. Death and the Halt of Life, the Void Left Behind.
So Ishtar is standing completely defenseless before her sister, Queen Ereshkigal. And let me tell you, Ereshkigal had zero mercy. Centuries of isolation had just bred this venomous hatred. She unleashes 60 horrifying diseases onto Ishtar all at once. In a split second, the great goddess of life becomes a lifeless corpse hung up on a meat hook in the pitch black of hell. And the exact moment her heart stops, the earth above literally holds its breath. The mighty Tigris and Euphrates rivers, bone dry. Leaves instantly turn a sickly yellow and wither. Absolute sterility hits humans and animals alike. Love, desire, passion, totally gone. Mesopotamia was dying right alongside its queen.
Section 4. The Return from Hell, a Dark Resurrection.
Meanwhile, up in the heavens, the gods are absolutely panicking. They realize Ishtar's death means the extinction of the entire cosmos. So the wise god Enki steps in. He creates this magical being who sneaks into hell and sprinkles the water of life onto Ishtar's corpse. Slowly, she opens her eyes. Magic starts pumping back through her veins. But she is not the same. It's a terrifying transformation. Her eyes, which used to shine with this brilliant starlight, they don't have that warmth anymore. Instead, they are literally burning with the red, unforgiving flames of hell. She's alive, but forever scarred by the abyss.
She starts climbing back up, reclaiming her power at each of the 7 gates. But there is a massive catch. The underworld has a golden rule, a soul for a soul. You can't just cheat death and walk away. So as she's heading toward the light, these horrifying, screaming demons are crawling right up behind her. They tell her flat out, if you're stepping back into the sun, you have to give us a substitute. Someone else has to rot in the darkness in your place.
Section 5. Dumuzi's Betrayal and Dark Revenge. The Usurper on the Throne.
Now, Ishtar is walking the earth with a ticking clock, surrounded by literal demons hunting for her replacement. She's looking for true devotion, right? Someone genuinely mourning her. First, she finds her faithful vizier, just weeping in the dust. He is completely broken, so she spares him. She won't hand true loyalty over to death. But then, she arrives at her own spectacular palace, and she looks at Dumuzi, her husband, the great love of her life. Is he mourning? No way. He is sitting on her throne, he's wearing her royal garments, drinking, laughing, throwing a party with concubines. To Dumuzi, her death wasn't a tragedy at all. It was just a political opportunity.
And in that exact moment, Ishtar's desperate, all-consuming longing for true love just snaps. It curdles into this black, terrifying rage. The very love that breathed life into the world becomes a fatal weapon. She locks those new flame-red eyes right onto Dumuzi and issues her dark decree, take him. This is the substitute for pride. The earth violently splits wide open. The screaming spirits lunge forward, grabbing a terrified, begging Dumuzi, and they drag him kicking and screaming down into the abyss.
Section 6. The lesson, when love kills, the scar on the universe.
So with Dumuzi paying the price, the cosmic balance is restored. The sun comes out, the rivers fill back up, life keeps going. But the universe and Ishtar herself is permanently broken. The core lesson of this legendary myth is incredibly stark. The exact same power that grants you life and love is the power that will drag you straight to hell if you betray it. Ishtar's endless longing for devotion is precisely what made her capable of such infinite destruction. The ancients basically wrote in blood that love, creation, and violent revenge are all deeply, permanently intertwined.
Which brings us to a final thought I want to leave you with today. If the ultimate goddess of love, the literal source of life's magic, can be pushed so far that she becomes the harbinger of hell and throws her own husband into the abyss, what does that say about the true, untamed nature of human devotion? It tells us that true love is incredibly powerful, absolutely, but it is